down onto our back in constructive rest, or any position on your back that feels good to you. So if constructive rest is not your jam, any other position is fine. And then just have your block or your pillow kind of nearby the top end of your mat. And we're just going to kind of use it at some point like a pillow underneath the head to give a little support. Okay, so come on down. Take a second to let your body find a good, soft, comfortable position, something that you can just reduce efforting. So whatever position of the body feels like you don't have to work too hard in, find your way there and then just give yourself a second to settle in. And then as you start to settle in, see if you can tune in just to the place at the back of your head that is connected to the ground. And then just notice if your head and your neck and your shoulders need any readjustment. Take a second to readjust so everything feels like it's really nicely snuggled in. And then come back to that sense of stillness. Take a nice deep breath in, still noticing that space in the back of the head that's connected to the ground. And then as we pay attention to that space of the head that's connected to the ground, start to notice the physical movement of breath in your body. So whereas the rest of the body seems to move gently with the breath, notice the weight of your head connected to the floor, and that space right where your head is connected to the floor seems to stay still and heavy, whereas the rest of the body kind of has a gentle movement connected to it with the breath. And then notice if you were focused on that connection, did you start to pick up a little tension right at that space between your eyes or in your eyebrows, or did you clench your jaw? So if you picked up any tension in your face or in your jaw, see if you can soften there, and then bring your awareness back to that space to the back of your head where your head is connected to the ground. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Take 2 more cycles of breath. And then before we move away from this place of stillness, take a moment here to set an intention to honor your mind and your body throughout your practice, never doing anything in your practice that would cause your body pain, and treating yourself with love, care, and respect. With that intention set, we're going to gently nod the chin up and down. So you're going to tune in and pay attention to the space where your head is connected to the ground or to your yoga mat. It's a small, tiny micro nod of the head. So it's not a big, grand movement. It's super small, super gentle, super mindful, just lifting the chin slightly and tucking the chin slightly. And then as you do that work here, just kind of notice your shoulders, your shoulder heads. And if you started to move your head gently up and down and your shoulders started to round up towards the ceiling, pause for a moment, see if you can drop your shoulders down, snuggle them in, readjust your head, and then come back to that nodding of the head up and down. Take 1 more nod of the head up and down, and then we're going to take it into a side-to-side movement. Gently rocking the head side to side, but kind of tuning in here and noticing, just notice your range of motion. Notice how your muscles in your neck feel. Notice if there's any little catchy parts or little hiccups, or is it a smooth transition as you turn your head side to side? There's no right or wrong, but just notice. Nice. Take one more turn of the head side to side, and then bring your head back to a central location. Pull your arms up so that the arms are reaching straight up towards the ceiling. Palms are facing in towards each other. And now we're going to reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Let your shoulder heads round so we get that little bit of squeeze in the armpit chest area. And then press your shoulders down into the ground. Reach your fingertips up, let your shoulder heads round. And then press the shoulders down into the ground. Do that one more time. Reach your fingertips up towards the ceiling, let the shoulders round. Press the shoulders down, and now take your arms into I Dream of Genie arms, or that square across the chest, and start to pull your elbows side to side. You can start with a small range of motion and then increase, or go with full range of motion right away if your shoulders are feeling good about it. But then as you do this work here, see if you can kind of anchor your legs, anchor your hips, anchor your butt. So there's not a lot of movement happening down in the bottom half of the body. And then once you've got this motion going on and it's feeling good, take and add in a head turn. So as your elbows pull and run one direction, your head is going to turn in the opposite direction. Beautiful. One more turn each side, and then come back to center for a moment. Just pause. Keep your arms in those I Dream of Genie arms, but now we're going to keep our head stationary and we're going to add our legs. So elbows and knees are going to drop in opposite direction of each other. So we windshield wiper the knees, pull the elbows across the midline of the body. Take your time here to find that rhythm so that your knees move in that fluid pattern and your elbows pull in that fluid pattern. Keeping everything else going, now we're going to add a head turn, but the head is going to move with the arms. So as your knees drop in one direction, head and elbows move in the opposite direction. One more side to side here, and then the elbows and knees are going to stay just as they are, but now the head is going to turn in the direction with the knees. So we're going to move in opposition to the elbows. Nice. Take one more time each side, or even yourself out, and then come back to center. Let your hands float down alongside your hips. Walk your feet in so they're a little bit closer. We're going to move right into pelvic tilt here. Press your low back into the ground. Release to the natural curve of your back. Press your low back into the ground and release to the natural curve of your back. And then you choose a breath pattern here that works best for you. So you might just go with the natural rhythm of your breath. You might choose an exhale as you press down, or you might choose an inhale. So you just play around with what breath feels the most appropriate to you here. Beautiful. Take one or two more tilts of the pelvis, and then we're going to move into some rolling bridges. So the next time your tailbone kind of curls up, roll up through the hips, lift up nice and high, and then once you hit that top, roll right back down, but think roll down through the spine. So upper back, middle back, low back, hips touch down. And then take a pelvic tilt, curl the tailbone up, roll up through the spine. Once you hit that top edge, roll down. So upper back, middle back, low back, hips touch down. Do that one more time. A little pelvic tilt, curl the tailbone up, roll up through the spine. Once you hit that top point, roll right back down. Upper back, middle back, low back, hips touch down. And then we're going to pull both knees up into the chest. Get a light little handhold, rock gently side to side. We just want to create a little bit of space in the low back. So just a light rock side to side to see how your back is feeling. And then we're going to see if we can keep our knees in towards our chest, but release our arms. So now we're going to let go of any efforting for a moment here. Knees are just going to relax. Thighs are resting towards the chest. Arms out in a nice wide configuration. Shoulder heads relaxing down, head connected to the ground. Nothing to do here. This is the work. So just find this soft and heavy position, and then take about 3 to 5 nice deep breaths. Take about one more cycle of breath here. And then we're going to reach our feet up towards the ceiling and then imagine that you're walking on the ceiling. So we're just going to start to sort of pedal through the legs, pushing one foot up towards the sky and then the other. So a gentle bend in the knee. And then as you do this work here, kind of notice how your knees feel. Notice your legs. And if it helps you to notice, look at your legs. And if your knees have a tendency to buckle in towards each other as you walk on the ceiling, or if they have a tendency to kind of pigeon out, just sort of notice just your natural tendency as you walk on the ceiling. Beautiful. Take one more little walk on the ceiling, and then the next time your right knee bends, pull it into the chest. Extend your left leg all the way down to the end of your mat. A little bit of a flex in the left foot so your left leg feels a little bit anchored. And then holding onto your right knee, take your right knee, draw it in circles, go in one direction. Draw that right knee in circles, go the other way. Awesome. And then we're going to take 3 fluid spinal twists. So we're going to take that right knee over across the body, let your right arm open out nice and wide, bring it right back in, hug it in with a light little squeeze. Back to that supine twist. Bring the knee over and across the body, let your right arm open out nice and wide, pull it back in, give it a light little squeeze. One more time, bring it over and across the body, let your right arm open out nice and wide, bring it right back in, pull the left knee into meet, hold onto your left knee, let your right leg go nice and long. Anchor your right leg. So keep your right leg fairly solid. Take that left knee, draw it in circles, go in one direction. Take that knee and draw it in circles, go the other way. Nice, and then we're going to take it right into those fluid supine twists. So take the left knee over to the right, left arm opens wide, pull it back in, give the knee a light little squeeze. Back to supine twist. Take the knee over and across the body. Pull it back in, give it a light little squeeze. Do that one more time. Bring the knee over to the right. Pull it back in, give it a light little squeeze. Bring the right knee into meet. We're going to get a firm handhold and then push your knees into your hands, and the hands are going to resist. So push your knees up towards the ceiling. Quadriceps are going to kick on. Your glute muscles might kick on. Your arm muscles are going to kick on to hold on to that nice, strong position. Push your knees up towards the ceiling and hold it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax, release your feet down to the ground, step your feet slightly wide, and just take a couple of gentle windshield wipers, not even full range of motion, just kind of soothe out the hip flexors, soothe out the thighs. And then when you feel ready, we're going to roll over onto the right side into a little bit of a fetal position. And then here's where you're going to use either your yoga block or your little throw pillow just underneath your head to create a nice even position with your head. I'm going to rearrange mine just so that my microphone's not going to get all caught up on it, but place your block or your pillow underneath your head just to offer your head a little bit of support. What we want is the bottom arm to be in line or out in front of you. So arrange yourself so that that bottom arm can be out in front of you. Legs in a stacked position, top arm is going to meet. So go palm to palm, and then we're just going to take a light and gentle twist. Just reach that left hand back, open up just a little bit, take a nice big breath. And then bring it back in, but now that top hand is going to just rest on your hips. So reach it down, and then once you're there, we're just going to focus on that top shoulder. So the top shoulder, keeping your head in a nice neutral position best you can, so your gaze is forward. We're going to take that top shoulder and just hug it forward, like you're trying to find that armpit chest muscle, get that little squeeze, bring it back to a neutral position. Hug the shoulder forward, bring it back to neutral. Hug the shoulder forward, bring it back to neutral. Now we're going to draw the shoulder down. So you're going to bring the shoulder head down like you're trying to reach your shoulder towards your hip, and then bring it back to neutral. Bring the shoulder down, bring it to neutral. One more time, bring the shoulder down, bring it to neutral. And now we're going to hug the shoulder back. Squeeze back so you feel that little chicken wing, and then bring it back. Squeeze the shoulder back, bring it back to neutral. Squeeze the shoulder back, bring it back to neutral. And now we're going to take 3 big giant circles with that shoulder. Circle around in one direction, and then circle around the other way. Nice. And then keep your head resting on your block or your pillow. Pick your right knee up, hug it up towards the shoulder, and then we're going to re-grab. We're going to grab the back of the thigh and take 3 kicks of that leg. So nothing fancy, doesn't need to be straight or anything like that, but 3 kicks just to create a little space in the back of the leg. And then the next time your foot bends down, can you catch hold of the top of the foot? And now we're going to swing that knee way down and out. So we're going to reach the knee down towards the end of your mat. So we're going to find a little quadricep stretch. So we're hugging the heel in towards the butt. Hip is reaching forward, knee is reaching down towards the end of your mat. And then once you've got your way there, take 3 nice deep breaths. Beautiful. When you're ready, with control, release your handhold from that foot. Now we're going to flip over to the other side. I'm going to flip over and around so that I'm facing out to the camera, but you flip around in any way that works good for you. We're just going to find that fetal position on the other side with the block underneath your head or your pillow underneath your head. So we just want a little bit of an elevated position so the head feels like it's in a nice alignment. Bottom hand is reaching out from the shoulder. Once you've got your way there, reach palm to palm just to find that shoulder stack, and then open that top hand up and maybe look back at that hand. Take a nice big breath. Awesome. And then as you bring it back in, that hand is going to rest against your hip. Shoulder's going to come forward. Round the shoulder forward. Feel that little squeeze in the armpit chest muscle, and then bring it back to neutral position. Shoulder head squeezes forward. Bring it back to neutral. Shoulder head squeezes forward. Bring it back to neutral. Now the shoulder head's going to reach down. So you're anchoring down towards the hip. Bring it back to neutral. Shoulder head down. Bring it back to neutral. Shoulder head down. Bring it back to neutral. And now we're taking it back. Hug the shoulder head back. Bring it back to neutral. Shoulder head back. Bring it back to neutral. Shoulder head back. Bring it back to neutral, and then take 3 big circles around with the shoulder. Circle in one direction, and then circle the other way. Nice. And then when you're ready, pick that top knee up, hug it towards your shoulder, get that light little squeeze, and then grab the back of the leg, take a couple little kicks just to create some space in the back of the leg. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, catch hold of your foot. Drop that knee down towards the end of your mat. Hug your heel in towards your butt. Hip is anchoring forward. Take about 3 breaths here. Beautiful. When you're ready, with control, release your handhold from that foot. And now from here, we're going to move that block out from underneath our head. Roll back onto your back. Take a second to find your way there. And then once you're there, we're going to bring the knees up towards the chest, grab hold of the backs of the thighs, and we're going to take a couple of rocks and rolls. We're going to rock and roll up to a supported boat position. So if you can catch a little momentum, find a little balance at the top. And then once you're at the top, think about pushing your thighs into your hands. Hands are going to resist, a little energy out into the feet, a little energy out through the crown of your head. Nice and strong here. Find that strong position. And then when you feel ready, we're going to release into an easy seat. So we're going to crisscross the legs from here, float your way up into an easy seat position, and then take a second to just make sure that's comfortable. Right hand's going to touch down, left hand's going to reach up. Take a nice big side bend. Beautiful. Lift up and over to the other side. Awesome. Lift back up to center. Take it into easy seated forward fold. Walk yourself out just to your edge. And then once you're there, take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Walk yourself back up, but hands are going to walk behind the back. So we're going to step our hands behind us. Nice tall fingers. Squeeze your shoulder blades. Lift your chest, lift your chin. So we get an opening through the front of the body, through the collarbones. Take a nice big breath. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, release your hands. We're going to flippity-do our way into a tabletop position. So you're going to come up onto all fours in any way that works good for you. Once you're in that all fours position, we're going to take it right into a hovering table. So we're going to curl the toes under, pick the knees up, engage the abdominal muscles. Knees are just up about 2 inches away from the floor. So the rest of the body is staying pretty stable. Your butt's not too high up. Your shoulders are nice and broad. gazing down between the thumbs so we keep that little bit of alignment of the spine. Hover here for just another moment or two, just noticing your strength. And then when you feel ready, with control, release your knees down, keep your toes tucked, pull your butt back towards your heels, and then bring it forward, shoulders slightly past the wrists. Beautiful. Pull your butt back towards your heels. Bring it forward, shoulders slightly past the wrists. Pull your butt back toward your heels. Stay here. Take 3 deep breaths. Wonderful. When you're ready, lift back up to table, release your toes, move right into puppy pose. Keep your hips in line with your knees, walk your hands to the top edge of your mat. Create as much space for your shoulders as you like, and then let your chest and your forehead melt down. Take 3 nice big breaths here. From this position, we're going to move into a crooked tabletop. So we're going to walk the hands in. Right hand's going to stay tall. Left elbow and forearm are going to come down to the ground. So once you've got that crooked tabletop position, we're going to pick the right leg up and out to the side like a fire hydrant and then bring it back down. So we're just going to get those side glutes to kick on. Bring the knee up and out to the side like a little fire hydrant. Bring it back down. Nice. One more just like that. Lift the leg up and out to the side. Bring it back down, and now we're going to come into a crooked table on the other side. So lift the left arm up, right elbow and forearm down. Once you've got your crooked table, left leg out to the side, bring it back down with control. Just getting those side glutes to kick on. Left knee out to the side, bring it back down with control. Beautiful. One more time. Lift the left knee out to the side. Nice. Lower it down with control. Step it back up so you're in that tall tabletop position. Curl both sets of toes under. Lift your hips up into downward facing dog. Take a few pedals of the legs here. Wonderful. Take 1 or 2 more pedals of the legs. And then when you're ready, look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to a soft ragdoll fold at the top of the mat. So super generous bend in the knees, plenty of space between your thighs so that there's space for the belly, space for your chest. Let your head drop down here. Take 3 nice big breaths. Keeping your arms heavy or catching hold of your elbows, that'll be totally up to you. But now we're going to add a little nod of the head up and down. Beautiful. One more little nod of the head up and down. And then the next time your head drops down, relax your fingers towards the earth, bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll up to a standing position. And then right away as you come up to that standing position, we're going to take it into that rock the baby sway. So we're just going to transfer our weight to the right and to the left, gently rocking side to side. Take just a little bit of time here to find that rock the baby sway. Notice your feet, notice your knees, make any little readjustments that you need to. One more little sway side to side. And then as you come back to center, just look behind you, check the back of your mat. So we were going to walk backwards. So we want to make sure our space is clear. So get a sense of what's going on behind you. And then once you have a sense of what's going on behind you, we're going to walk ourselves to the back end of your mat. Walk, think about articulating through the foot. So toe, ball, heel. And then once you hit the end of your mat, inhale, lift your chin up to the sky. Tuck your chin down to your chest, bend your knees, roll down through your spine, roll all the way down to the ground, and we're going to walk ourselves out to a plank position. So walk your hands out towards the front end of your mat. Once you've found that plank position, take it right up into a downward facing dog. Lift your hips up. Readjust your feet as needed. That's just based on your proportions. So sometimes it's smooth and sometimes you just got to move your feet a little bit. Once you're in that down dog position, take 1 good breath and then look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come up to the top of your mat. Bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll up to standing position, readjust your feet so you can come back to that rock the baby sway. So you might step a little bit wider apart, transfer your weight gently side to side. One more little rock side to side, and then we're walking backwards again. This time, see if you can find that articulation through the feet. Even spread your toes, take your time, be a little intentional as you articulate through the feet. And then as you find your way to the back end of your mat, inhale, lift your chin up. Exhale, tuck your chin down, bend your knees, roll your way down through the spine. Once your hands touch the ground, we're going to walk our way out into a plank position. Pause in that plank position just to find your strength, readjust your feet as needed. And then when you're ready, take it up to your downward facing dog. Beautiful. Look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands. You're going to roll up through the spine. So once you come to the top of your mat, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll back up. We're going to go through that one more time. So step your feet to an appropriate distance, come back to that rock the baby sway. One more little rock side to side, and then articulate through the feet. Toe ball heel, walk yourself backwards. Try to keep your gaze forward here now. You know where you're going. Once you feel like you've hit the back end of your mat, inhale, lift your chin up to the sky. Tuck your chin down, bend your knees, roll down through your spine. Hands find the ground, walk yourself out to that plank position. Once you found your plank position, take it up to downward facing dog. Nice. Look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to that soft fold at the top of your mat, and then right away, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll up to a standing position, roll the shoulders down and back, anchor down into your feet, and then just for a moment, notice your feet nice and solid on the ground. Now we're going to transfer our weight onto our left foot. Hands are going to come to the hips, and you're going to try to keep your hips as square and stable as you can, so the hips aren't going to move too much. And we're going to lift the right knee up. So keep your hips as level as you can. Notice them underneath your hands. Hold that leg in that elevated position. Take one more breath. Keep your hips as level as you can. Float that foot down. Transfer your weight onto your right foot. Notice your hips. There might have been a little wiggle as you transferred your weight. Square up your hips. Keep them nice and solid. Pick your left knee up. Beautiful. With control, keep your hips as level as you can. Set that foot down. And then with both feet on the ground, find your mountain pose. Root down into your feet, reach up through the crown of your head, shoulders grounded down, gaze forward, and take 3 nice deep breaths here, just noticing your body, noticing your breath. Keeping your eyes forward, can you lift a little bit energetically up through the feet and then reach that energy up through the crown of your head? When you're ready, inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, bend your knees, hinge from your waist, fold down to the ground. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, step the right leg back, warrior one. Drop the back heel, turn the toes out, hips stay facing forward. Inhale, reach your arms up. We're going to get real fluid through this position. So once you've found that warrior one, just one sink into that front thigh, and then float your hands right back down to the ground. Pivot your back heel, plant your palms, step right back to a plank, but then right away, bring your knees down, lower gently onto your belly. 3 low cobras here. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale to lower down. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale to lower down. Beautiful. One more time here. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale, lower down. We're going to take a quad stretch. We're going to bend the right knee, reach your right hand back. See if you can catch hold of that foot. Hug your heel in towards your butt or to the outside of your butt. So you're just going to play around with where you find a good sensation. So heel might be towards the outer side of your glute or coming in towards the center of your glute. Once you've found a good stretch that you like the position of, take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Release your handhold from that foot, switch over to the other side. Left knee is going to bend, catch hold of the foot. Play around with where you find good sensation. So it might be in towards the center of your glutes or towards the outside of your glute, and then see where you find the happiest sensation. And then once you're there, take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Release your handhold from that foot. Push your way up to a tabletop position. Curl your toes under. Exhale up to downward facing dog. Look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to a soft fold at the top of your mat. Once you hit that soft fold at the top of your mat, inhale to a half forward fold, bend your knees, push into your feet, inhale, arms up. Hands to heart center, hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, left leg back, warrior one. Drop the back heel, toes turned out, hips stay facing forward. Inhale and lift up. For one good breath, we sink into that front thigh. Beautiful, and then right away, float your hands down, pivot that back foot, plant your palms, step right back to a plank, and then right away, bring your knees down, lower gently onto your belly. 3 low cobras here. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale to lower down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. Beautiful. Inhale, lift up. Exhale to lower down. Bend your right knee, catch hold of your foot in towards the center of your glute or out to the outside, totally up to you. Give it one little squeeze and then with control, release. So the foot's not going to ricochet down, it's going to lower with control. Switch over to the other side. Bend that left knee, catch hold of your foot. Hug it in for one light little squeeze, and then release it with control. Beautiful. Push your way up to a tabletop position. Curl the toes under. Exhale up to down dog. Look forward. Walk your feet up to meet your hands. Come to forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale to half forward fold. Keep that length in your spine. Bend your knees. Push into your feet. Inhale, arms up. Hands through heart center down to the hips. Transfer your weight over to your left foot. Keep your hips as level as you can. Pick the right knee up. Hold it for just a moment. Keep your hips as level as you can. Set that foot down. Transfer your weight onto your right foot. Level up your hips. Pick your left knee up just as high as you can. Beautiful. Set that foot down. And then if you noticed, if your balance was way off this morning and you want to position yourself so that you have a wall nearby, take a second to reposition yourself. But now we're going to come back to transferring our weight onto the left foot. Pick your right knee up. Keep your hips as level as you can. And now we're going to swing the foot in a little bit of an external rotation. So the knee is going to try to stay in line with the hip. The hips are going to try to stay as level as they can. And we're just going to take a few swings of that foot in and out. Keeping everything as controlled as you can. You can look at the foot to start, but then once you feel like you know what your body is doing, see if you can keep your gaze forward. With your hands on your hips, you might feel, especially in that right hip crease area, you might feel all that work happening up around the side of the glutes, up in those hip flexor muscles. Take one more little swing in and out, and then when you're ready, keep your hips as level as you can. Set that foot down, transfer your weight onto your right foot, pick your left knee up, keep the hips as level as you can. So knee is in line with the hip. Once you feel like you're there, swing the foot out, swing it back in, and then take a few in and out at your pace. Beautiful. One more in and out, and then when you're ready, keep your hips as level as you can. Float that foot down to the ground. Release your hands from your hips. Come back to your mountain pose. Anchor down into your feet. Reach up through the crown of your head. Nice. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Knees bent or straight, totally up to you. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. We're going to go from warrior one to warrior two. So we're going to step the right leg back, drop the heel down, turn the toes out. Hips are going to stay facing forward. Inhale, reach your arms up. One good breath, sink into that front thigh. And then we're going to loosen up that position just a little bit so we can rotate the hips out to the side, readjust your legs as needed, extend your arms straight out from the shoulders. Sink a little further into that front thigh, gaze forward, take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Peaceful warrior, drop the back hand, reach the front hand up, look to the sky, and then we're going to float through this position to cartwheel the hands down to the ground. So rotate your hands around and down, pivot your back heel. Beautiful. Plant the palms, step back to plank. Once you're there, bring the knees down, lower gently onto your belly. One cobra here as high as you like. Inhale, lift up. Exhale to lower down. Either power up to a plank or take it through a tabletop and then find your way up to down dog. Look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale, half forward fold. Keep that length in your spine, bend your knees, push into your feet. Inhale, arms up. Hands to heart center, hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, left leg back, warrior one. So we drop the back heel, turn the back toes out, but the hips stay facing forward. Lift your heart away from your thighs, sink into that front thigh. Maybe look up, take a nice big breath. And then soften that position so that your hips can rotate out to the side. Arms are going to extend out to shoulder height. Beautiful. Make sure your legs feel nice and solid and strong. Take a nice big breath, gaze forward. Right into peaceful warrior. Drop the back hand, reach the front hand up, look to the sky. And then from here, cartwheel your hands down to the ground. Pivot your back heel so you come into that runner's lunge. Beautiful. Plant your palms, step back to a plank. Once you find that plank, bring your knees down. Lower gently onto your belly. One cobra here as high as you like. Exhale as you lower down. Either power up to a plank or take it through a tabletop and then find your way up to down dog. Look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale, half forward fold. Keep that length in your spine, bend your knees, push into your feet. Inhale, arms up. Hands to heart center. We're going to move into a half dancer balance. So if your balance was feeling a little wonky, find your support system. And then when you're ready, transfer your weight onto your left foot. Right heel is going to hug toward your butt. Now this might be a place to stay, but if it feels good, you're seeing if you can catch hold of that foot, hug your heel in toward your bum. And then once you've got a good handhold, left hand is going to reach up alongside your ear. One more breath. With control, release your hold of that foot, take it right over to the other side. So transfer your weight onto your right foot, bend your left knee, hug your heel in toward your butt. That might be enough. You might be super happy there, but if you want to, reach your hand back, catch hold of the foot, hug your heel in toward your butt, knee in towards the knee, right hand extends up towards the sky. With control, release everything back down, find your mountain pose. Anchor there, gaze forward, shoulders grounded down, firm up your abdomen, focus your gaze, and then take 3 nice big breaths here. Beautiful. Inhale, arms up and look up. Let your hands meet, let your chest lift as you look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, step both feet back to down dog. Once you hit that down dog, pick up your heels, lower your knees, come into tabletop. We're gonna move right into cow face prep pose. So we're gonna stretch that right leg out straight from the hip. Take your left toes, swing your left toes over to the right side of your mat. Take your right knee and tuck it behind your left. So the knees are gonna be stacked, a little crisscross in the knees, but now the toes are pointing in opposite directions. Once you've got your way there, you're going to pull your butt back toward your heels, press into your palms just a little bit. Here with your sensation, you might find sensation in your glutes, outer edges of your hips. So just kind of tune in for a moment and notice. This might be enough. This might already feel like plenty of work for you, but if it feels great and you want to take it all the way back, you're going to sit your hips all the way back so that you keep that stack in the knees. You might have to readjust. Feet are out in opposite directions. And then once you've got your way there, things feel good. Hands to the soles of the feet, lean your heart forward towards your knees just as far as feels good to you. Awesome. Now, instead of floating forward, we're going to take this and move it right into a fire log stack. So you're going to lift your heart back up and then see if you can just slide the legs out so that the ankle to knee, ankle to knee. So we're going to keep our legs stacked on top of each other. And then you're just going to make sure you anchor your feet so feet feel good and solid. Once you've got your fire leg stacked, and you get there any way that works good for you. It's not always a smooth and easy transition to get here, but then once you found your way here, hands to the ground, keep a nice uplifted spine and an uplifted chest. And we're going to think hip hinge. So we're going to lean the heart forward just to the point that you feel a good sensation. And then once you feel a little bit of a sensation, take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, keep your spine long, but see if you can soften your heart forward just a little further. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, lift on up. We're just going to take that top leg, lift it off, swing everything around, find your way back into your tabletop position. Once you found your tabletop position, bop your hips a little side to side. Nice. And now we're going to come back to finding our way through that cow face prep. So left leg is going to stretch way out. Swing your right toes over to the left side of your mat. Tuck your left knee behind your right knee. Knees are stacked, toes are pointing in opposite directions. Press your butt back towards your heels. Notice how that feels. This might be enough. You might be there and you don't need to go any further from here. You might choose to stay here and breathe. If this feels great and you want to come all the way back, you're going to sit back, readjust your knees as needed, hands to the soles of your feet. Once you're there, keep that nice long spine, lean your heart forward just as far as feels good. Take 3 nice deep breaths. Lift up through the crown of your head, let your heart follow. And now we're going to slide the legs out and away from each other so we can take them into that fire log stack. So right leg on top of the left, knees and ankles are where we're lining up. So knee to ankle, knee to ankle. And then once you've got your way into that alignment, hands down to the ground, nice uplifted spine, lean yourself forward just to the point where you feel sensation. Once you've found a good sensation, pause there for a moment, make sure your knees feel safe. As you exhale, see if you can lean your heart forward just a little bit more. Take one more breath. Lift up through the crown of your head, let your heart follow. Now from here, we're just going to swing the legs out in front of us. So release your legs out in front, give your knees a little bop, give your toes a little wiggle, shake and shimmy everything out. And then we're going to start to find our way down to the ground. And if you have a yoga block or your pillow, just have it kind of handy and nearby so that it's within reach. Find your way down to the ground. Once you found your way there, we're going to move right into reclined butterfly. Soles of the feet together, knees out to the left and to the right. Take one breath here. Awesome. Bring the knees together, toes together, inner thighs together, and push actively in towards each other. So we're going to hold that strong position. Push the knees in towards each other, nice and strong. Inner thighs kicked on, outer thighs kicked on. Hold that position for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax that position. Step your feet so they're about hip width distance apart, hands down alongside your hips. Exhale and lift up into a bridge position. Hold that bridge position nice and strong. And then with control, release it back down. Now we're going to grab hold of our yoga block or our pillow and place it right between the knees, right around the knees and the inner thighs. So just in that upper area. And it's just to give us a little bit of a guide. So it doesn't need to be a big firm push or anything. We just want to keep that in place. But then we're going to alternate swinging one foot out and then the other. So we're going to keep the yoga block or the pillow between the knees. The knees are going to stay in line with the hips. And we're just swinging the heel out to the side and then the other. So we're alternating between the two. Beautiful. Now the next time your right heel swings out, hold it there for a second, nice and active. Maybe tune in and notice the side of your thigh. Maybe tune in and notice the side of your glutes. Take one more moment and then bring that foot in and swing out the other foot. So left foot's going to swing out, hold that position. Notice the side of your thigh. Notice the side of your glutes. You might even feel a little shake in the muscles there. Hold it for one more second. And then when you're ready, release. Grab the block or your pillow, move it up and out of the way. Float your feet down to the ground. Step them out slightly wide. take it into some windshield wipers and just soothe your hips. Nice. Take one more windshield wiper each side. And then when you're ready, pull your right knee into your chest. Left knee is going to extend nice and long to the end of your mat. And now we're going to take supine twist, but we're going to stay there. So take the right knee over and across the body. Right arm opens out nice and wide. Head turns to the right. Find your spinal twist and then take a second to settle into it. If there's anything that needs readjustment, take a second to do it. But then we're going to focus on the breath. So see if you can notice where your rib cage is and then tune into the breath in your rib cage. When you feel ready, head returns to center, pull the right knee in toward your chest. Now we're going to re-grab the back of the thigh with a firm handhold. Take 3 good kicks of the leg up towards the ceiling. And then on that last kick, keep the leg up towards the ceiling, walk your hands up towards your ankle or up the shin just as far as feels good. And then gently draw the leg in. So head and knee are lifted. Hopefully feeling a good stretch in the back of the hamstring muscle, but nothing down into the glutes. Awesome. When you're ready, slowly, gently, mindfully release, switching over to the other side. Pull the left knee into your chest. Right leg is going to go nice and long, moving right into supine twist to the other side. So draw that knee over and across the chest. Left arm opens wide. Head turns to the left. Take a second to make sure this feels like a good, comfortable position. Readjust anything that you need to. But then once you're in a good position, tune in and notice your rib cage and see if you can notice the movement of breath in your ribs. Take one more breath. When you're ready, head returns to neutral. Pull the left knee into your chest. Bring the right knee into meet. Both knees hug into the chest. Give a light little squeeze. But now we're going to send our feet back up towards the sky. Let your arms release down and wherever works good for you. And then we're back to walking on the ceiling, pushing one foot up and then the other. The next time your right foot pushes up towards the ceiling, keep the right foot there, float your left foot down. Now we're going to bring a little flex into that right foot and we're going to take 3 lifts and lowers of that leg, lifting up and lowering down. The next time that right leg comes up towards the ceiling, bend that knee, set it down, switch over to the other side. Grab hold of the back of the thigh, take 3 kicks of that left leg because I forgot it on the other side. And then the next time that heel pushes up towards the ceiling, walk your hands up towards the ankle, let your nose lift towards your knee. Beautiful. And then relax your head down, relax your handhold from that leg. And now we're going to keep the left leg up into the air and we're going to give the leg a good gentle shake. One more good shake of that left leg. And then when you're ready, we're going to switch to the other side. Right leg is going to lift up, left leg is going to float down. Give the left leg a good and gentle shake. Right leg a good and gentle shake. Nice. And then when you're ready, take that right leg across the left into a figure 4 position with one breath. Pick the left leg up, thread your hands through, grab the back of the thigh or the top of the shin, bring it in toward your heart and to your comfort level. So make sure your shoulders feel soft, belly feels soft. Take a nice deep breath in. Awesome. And then we're going to release our handhold and take it into a knee down twist. So we're going to keep your figure four position, drop the knees over to the right. If you get there and that's not comfortable to your knee or comfortable to your hip, you're going to just let your foot fall off the knee and stay in that down twist position. So find a position that feels safe and comfortable. And then hopefully here you're finding a little stretch or sensation through that front left pocket area. Take one more breath. And then with control, bring everything back to center. Step your right foot off the left, switch to the other side. Left leg across the right, find your figure four with one breath. Lift the right leg up, thread your hands through, get your hand hold. Pull the legs in gently toward your heart, just as far as feels good to you. Shoulders are relaxed, belly is soft. Awesome. And then release. Right foot's going to touch down to the ground, and we're taking those knees over to the left. Let them drop down just as far as feels good to you. If you get there and the knee or the hip feel uncomfortable about having that foot across, just release it. When you're ready, bring it all back to center. Step your left foot off the right, and we're going back to our reclined butterfly. Soles of the feet together, knees out to the left and to the right. Take one big breath here. Awesome. And then knees together, thighs together, toes together. Push your knees in towards each other. Hold that active position. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax that position. Step your feet to hip width distance apart. Exhale, lift up into your bridge position. Hold that bridge nice and strong. Beautiful. And then with control, release your hips back down to the ground. Let your knees drop in towards each other into a constructive rest position, and then pause just for a moment and notice your body. Ask yourself, where would be your best Savasana? Would it feel good to stay in constructive rest? Would it feel good to come back to reclined butterfly or any other variation of the body? Maybe take that more traditional shape, walk your feet long, roll over onto one side, or flip over onto your belly. It's totally up to you. Whatever position feels the most restful, that you can find a sense of stillness that makes sense to you. You always have the option to stay in your Savasana just as long as you like. But if you feel called to do so, start to gently reawaken your body. Maybe move your fingers, maybe move your toes, maybe move your head a little bit side to side. As you move your head side to side, maybe you just tune in and notice the back of your head, that space that we paid attention to as we started our practice. And then invite some bigger movements in. Move your wrists, move your ankles, move your knees, move any of your joints that want a little bit of gentle movement before you come up. And then if it feels really great to do so, take a big good morning stretch like a yawn. Reach your arms up and overhead, stretch through your fingers, stretch through your toes. Take a nice big giant breath back into your body. And then in your own way, at your own pace, find your way up to a comfortable seated position. We want to have access to the face and the neck. We're going to do our little yoga facelift. So before you take your glasses off, just so that you can see, I'm going to take my right hand, reach over and across so I can catch hold of my opposite eyebrow. And then it's going to be a gentle flicking upward motion with the fingers. So once you know what we're doing, take your glasses off, set them somewhere safe. Take your right hand, reach over and across the right eyebrow, and then we're just going to pull the fingers gently upward. So just get a nice little flicking rhythm with the fingers. And then if it feels good to do so and you know what you're doing, close your eyes down and just take a couple little flicks of the fingers upward, gently pulling the eyebrows up. Take one or two more times here, and then we're going to switch right over to the other side. So left hand's going to reach over and across to that right eyebrow, and then flick the fingers upward. Nice. Take one or two more times here, and then we're going to take the 4 soft fingers, take them right to the center of the forehead, right where the space of your eyebrows is. And then with just a light, gentle pressure, pull the fingers apart towards the temples, lift up, bring it right back to center. Press gently into your fingertips, pull the fingers apart, gently glide them across your forehead to the temples and lift off. One more time here, bring it back to center, gently press in, pull the fingers apart. And now we're going to take index finger and middle finger right to the temples, give a couple of circles at the temples, be light and mindful here. And then we're going to take just the ring fingers underneath the eyes. So come in towards the eye center and then gently pull the fingers out towards the edges of your eyes. Just the ring fingers with a light and gentle touch pulling outward. One more time through, and then come to where your jaw and your ear meet, and then draw some gentle circles, pressing down all the way down the jawline. Take it all the way down to the chin. And then once you've found your way down to the chin, prayer hands together at heart center, bowing your head to your heart. Soften your jaw, soften your cheekbones, soften your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in, breathing in love and gratitude for yourself, for your mind, for your body, and for all of your hard work. And breathe in a little extra love and gratitude that you can carry with you through the rest of your day and share with everyone you see. When you feel ready, gently lift up through the top of your head, gently open your eyes. I bow to you. Happy Tuesday. You guys are amazing.